Doordash announcing two big acquisitions for Deliveroo and 7rooms worth billions of dollars. It's an effort to transform its business offering and expand its service internationally. Joining us right now in an exclusive interview is Doordash's co-founder and CEO, Tony Xu. We are thrilled to have him here. Tony, good morning to you. A big quarter, a big sort of moment.
F you, Tony.
In terms of just what the expansion of this company looks like. I don't know if we want to go earnings first or we want to go deals first. I kind of want to go deals first.
Your choice.
Dealer's choice. So I'm gonna go deals first in terms of just what this ultimately means for the company in terms of how it's going to grow and frankly how you see the competition playing out.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you see is that Doordash is a multi-product company now that's operating on a global scale. And I think that is in part, I think, what you're seeing. I mean, our aspiration has always been to grow and to empower local economies all over the world. You know, the willingness and the desire of every small, medium, and large retailer.
What do you mean grow economies? What are you even talking about, dude? What are you even... That's such a joke answer. Are you kidding me? That's your goal? To grow economies? Oh, you're such a... Oh.
Taylor to become a digital powerhouse. That's true in San Francisco. That's true in London. That's true anywhere in the world. And so that's really what the nature of these partnerships are about. You know, in the case of Deliveroo, we are adding to our footprint in Europe. You know, should the deal close, we would then operate in 30 countries across the continent and 45 countries globally. In the case of 7rooms, we are adding to the Doordash commerce platform where we've white labeled our services such as Doordash Drive, which you could think of white label delivery.
Bro, is this a joke? Is this a joke? Like, I know I'm a little late on this news. Like, I know this news came out the other day, but like, bro, 3.9 billion with a B, and then 7rooms, 1.2 billion with a B. You're talking about dude, $6.1 billion. I hope anybody that's watching this that's a DoorDasher, I hope you're not like happy about this news. Like I hope that you guys fully understand what this means. This means that this company has had the ability. This means this company is making money out of the wazoo. They're making money out of their butts like unicorns pooping cupcakes. They don't care about you at all as a DoorDasher. They don't care about you at all as a customer. The only thing that this company cares about is the bottom dollar, the bottom line dollar. That's all they care about. If they have enough money to purchase $6.1 billion worth of other companies to monopolize, by the way, to monopolize this space, they can pay more than $2 an order. They are choosing not to. I went to buy a pizza the other day. You know, my girlfriend was over. I never order DoorDash. My girlfriend wanted to order DoorDash. She thinks it's fun because it's delivery. I get it. I totally understand. I get the appeal of ordering delivery so you don't have to go out there. You're in a vibe in your room. You're just trying to like chill out and you want to order food and it's easy. I went to order one pizza. You know how much that pizza cost me? It was a 3-topping pizza. Nothing too special. It would have cost me with tip. You know, I was going to give like a $10 tip. $43. $43 for one pizza. No fries, no drinks, nothing added on. One large pizza. $43. $43. Out of that $43, the DoorDasher would have gotten my $10 plus the $2 from DoorDash. The only reason that DoorDasher would have made decent money is because of my tip. They would have been given $2 out of that meal, $2. So without my tip, it was $33 toward that pizza. Crazy, dude. Crazy. They're keeping 80% of all of these delivery fees and all this stuff. None of that delivery fee goes to the Dasher. $2. 6.1 billion.
DoorDash storefront, white label online ordering, and now with 7rooms, white label marketing to help restaurants get a 360 view of their customers regardless of the channels in which they dine with them.
What's the integration ultimately look like behind the scenes in terms of, to the extent there are going to be cost savings, and how integrated will some of these services be or not be? Because I know that you're going to maintain some of the brands and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we're going to have to figure out. Obviously, you know, our goal here is to maximize for success. And so while you'll certainly see
not to help the Dashers, why would you ever do that? It's to optimize success for your own business, for your own company, for your own well-being. While DoorDashers are out there struggling. I know that there's a lot of DoorDashers out there struggling.
certain services and tech stacks integrated to allow the best offering, especially the best of scale that DoorDash brings. We also want to learn and navigate all of the different local challenges that we see, given that this is a highly local business. And so it really is a best of both approach where you're going to see a consistent service, but
bro, they destroyed. Oh, I guess they didn't destroy revenue, but like the EPS they destroyed. Bro. This company's making so much money, bro. Your revenue was $3 billion, dude. Your revenue was $3 billion. You did nothing. You did nothing. You guys did nothing. All you do is run an app. You outsource your support line to India. They're the ones that run that. You just pay them monthly, I'm assuming. You don't do anything. You don't do anything. Your app is terrible. Your app is garbage. You're talking about we need to start looking at like the local challenges we have. How about the local issues that you have with your drivers? What's happening with your drivers? This guy better mention their drivers, bro. This guy, I swear, man, this guy better mention his drivers, dude.
We're going to maximize our the offerings to each respective market.
We had the CEO of Uber on a little bit earlier. How do you see the competition with them playing out? I mean, is that, if you were to put one company on your sort of competitor board, is that it at this point?
No, I think the competitor I always put on the board is really rising consumer expectations. I think that's always.
This guy's such a oh my God. He doesn't even want to acknowledge Uber. He says rising expectations of the consumer. You mean the fact that your consumer's paying out of their butt to order DoorDash and you're pocketing all of this cash?
Has been what's driven us at DoorDash, and frankly, that's always the highest aspiration. What we've delivered for a customer yesterday probably isn't good enough for what we've delivered, what we will deliver for them today. And so
you're not doing anything, dude. Stop saying we. Your drivers. Can you at least acknowledge your drivers? Oh, I hate this guy so much.
So for me, it's always, obviously we're careful about understanding, the different peers that we compete with. We don't underestimate anyone. But truly what inspires us and motivates us is the consumer and their rising expectations.
You just mentioned the consumer. I think we're all trying to understand what's going on with the consumer in this economy here in the U.S. and abroad, given the tariff story and whether these numbers are, the expectations around a slowdown are playing out or not. Apparently this morning it did not seem that way with Uber. It does not appear that way in the context of your earnings. But what are you seeing?
Yeah, well, I think what you're seeing is a lot of fear in the system. I think that is very real. Consumer sentiment certainly has swung negative, in past months, but we haven't seen the order behavior change. I mean, as you referenced, we saw record earnings where we saw,
record earnings. So why don't you give back to your drivers? Can anybody ask this guy why doesn't he pay his drivers? Every single one of these shrills only cares about money. CNBC and Wall Street and all these people, all these stakeholders, all they care about is money. They don't care about people. They don't care about the people making them the money. Without the drivers, you have nothing. You have nothing.
20% plus growth on our top line on a very large base. And we're seeing order rates of different cohorts continuing to improve as the activity levels grow with the increasing number of use cases, as well as different categories now of delivery that DoorDash is offering.
What's happening to your costs? And I'm thinking about, you've got a pilot program going on in Pennsylvania for this benefit program for Dashers. And I'm curious as to how you see costs over time, either going up or I doubt going down.
Yeah, well, our belief in programs like the one you referenced, the portable benefits program in Pennsylvania, which we're now taking to other states, is that Dashers ought to be able to have what they want, which is the flexibility of a type of work like ours, and also protection and benefits. And so you're right to say that, in general, costs go up. But what I would also say is that efficiency, as well as the ability to produce new features to grow the order behavior in our system, especially as now we are a multi-product company, also grows. And so it's always this balancing act. You'll obviously have to invest in order to, achieve a certain outcome, which then delivers financial results. But job number one is making sure that we deliver for the customer, in this case, the Dasher.
What? Job number one, we have to deliver for the customer, in this case, the Dasher. It doesn't even make any sense, man. It doesn't even make any sense, dude. I don't like, I heard a lot of gobbledygook and not a lot of actual substance in everything he just said. I do appreciate that they are trying to bring benefits and stuff, but what about pay, dude? Pay is the biggest one, man. The thing is most Dashers, this is my opinion, I feel like most Dashers probably have benefits from another job. I honestly think that like a lot of people do DoorDash as a side hustle. I don't think the majority is people doing dashing as their main job. I could be wrong on that. Somebody show me statistics. I could be wrong on that. I feel like most people do this as a side hustle. There's kids that do this, people that have W-2s. People probably have benefits from other jobs. Do the, full-time Dashers need benefits? Sure. As long as they don't cost too much. I have no idea what these benefits are, man. I don't know how much they're going to charge for this stuff. I don't know, dude. I don't know. It just sounds like he's not saying anything about the Dashers that has any substance.
We heard 2 weeks ago that Lyft is going to go international. They have been a domestic player thus far. You've worked with them before. Do you see, how do you see that piece of the world playing out?
Specifically, you mean within ride hailing?
Whether ride hailing for you ultimately has to get matched up, whether you think you ultimately match up with a ride hailer ever in a more meaningful way.
Yeah, well, the first thing I would say is I can't think of any other program or set of services that would be more useful than ones that connect local customers to local businesses. If you take something like restaurant delivery, that has the greatest frequency of activity, both because of the type of use case, eating, but also because you're connecting you to everything inside your city. So I think for us, the focus is squarely on that, making sure that organically we build the best-in-class products, that we continue to do that and continue to meet the increasing standards from customers. I think with respect to other types of services, we do have partnerships. I mean, you mentioned Lyft. We have a partnership with Lyft that we're happy about in the United States. We have other types of partnerships as well. I mean, that's certainly a part of our ecosystem, but the main focus is organically building great products.
AI needs lots and lots of data, so I'm excited to tell.
All right. I mean, I don't know really else to say about this. I guess it's really disappointing. I mean, I understand that every company needs to make money, but to what end, man? To what end? Like the fact that they used to pay their dashers better when they weren't making money, and then as soon as they do make money, they take money away from the dashers. That one fact alone is just unfathomable. I mean, you could at least bump it up to a minimum of 250. Like even 250 would make such a huge difference. Such a huge difference for the DoorDashers. I mean, you think it doesn't, but like over the span of weeks, months, years, that 250 is going to be that 50 cents extra is going to be a big difference. It's going to be a big difference. I mean, even if you just take, I know like out of 20 orders, you're only talking about an extra $10, but still an extra $10 a day over, that's another. Anyway, I mean, I don't know. I really wish these CEOs would talk about the people that work for their app. They're the contractors more. I mean, he said one thing about benefits, but like he didn't mention anything about pay. He didn't thank the Dashers. He didn't give the Dashers a shout out saying that they're the ones that do all the work, not him. He kept talking about his company, about being multi this, multi that, and I don't know. What do you guys think, man? This is a lot of money. $6 billion, dude. $6 billion or $5 billion, whatever it is. $5 billion, $6 billion, doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It's a lot of money, dude. And the fact that they are not giving you any of it, all of that revenue, normally with a company, when they make a bunch of money, they give bonuses to their workers, right? Now, I understand we're not employees, we're contractors, but like they didn't give any, like I don't see any incentives ever with DoorDash. I don't know, like I know some people do, but like in my area, it's just a rich area. It's oversaturated with DoorDashers. There's no incentives ever, not even when it's like bad weather. And they don't even check. They're not doing any. He's like, oh, we're trying to fix the local problems. You mean like the local problems of like too many illegals using your platform, or people that using multiple phones, multiple logins, you're not scanning people's face. They're not doing anything. Uber Eats scans every single day. DoorDash doesn't scan ever. It's disappointing. Let me know what your thoughts are below. I'm disappointed in humanity when it comes to this kind of thing. I really am. Remember to stay positive though, guys. They'll work out for you, even if DoorDash is a terrible, terrible company. And F you, Tony.